Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the By-Tor show. I am your host, By-Tor, and we're just going to talk about some SHL stuff today. Look at various things. I know the week-to-week agenda items can get a little thin, especially in the middle of the season, but I'll try to make it a fun show for you tonight. So I just wanted to start off, not that you guys necessarily care about my life, but fill some things in, take up some time, not necessarily SHL related, but to add some ambiance to the show. TV show I'm watching right now, House of Dragon. My wife and I have one episode left. We're on episode 10 of 10. Hopefully we can watch that sometime this week. Pretty good show so far. Highly recommend it for anyone that hasn't watched Game of Thrones. I would recommend watching Game of Thrones first. Very good show. I read the books before I watched the show, which I think makes the show better because you get to connect things in your mind, whereas it would be confusing if you had no idea what was going on to begin with, but the books are 8,000 times better, so do highly recommend reading all those books. Let's see. Video game I'm playing right now. Fallout 4, actually. I have my I always seem to be on the trailing edge of video games. So I just got an Xbox One 3 years ago. Right when the Xbox Series X was coming out. And obviously I'm playing Fallout 4 right now, which came out 7 years ago. I am probably about 7 years behind in all my video game experience. So whatever's coming out now, I'll probably get to it in about 7 years, if I even have the time. So that's what I'm doing now. I never actually completed Fallout 3. Played some of that, but I don't know if you guys have this struggle, but sometimes when you're trying to, find something to entertain yourself with, seems like a million things you could do, but nothing that really grabs your attention. And I got kind of lucky and did get into Fallout 4 here in the last week or so. So hopefully that holds my attention for a little bit. Let's see. TV, video games. I'm not reading any books right now. I really should. My wife does the book challenge where she tries to read a certain amount of books every year. I think her goal this year is 26, which is about one every 2 weeks or one every other week. That's about 26 more than I've read this year. So I need to get on that. But you know how it is. Just sometimes when I read a book, I feel like I could be spending my time doing something more productive, even though I know deep down that there's really nothing more productive than reading a book, just because it's, educational. But whatever, I digress. Let's get into SHL stuff. So first thing I wanted to do tonight is open some trading cards. Like I say every week, it's so difficult to buy these, and since I did cancel my subscription, I do go in manually. Oh shoot, Christmas music's been on the whole time. I'm sorry. I have my speaker all the way down, so sometimes I don't see that the Christmas music is up. Hopefully you guys could hear me that whole first 5 minutes over that music. You didn't miss much. Nothing SHL related, so that's okay. As I was saying, I do buy these packs manually just because I don't want to be signed up for the subscription. I was signed up for the subscription, and I don't know why I don't go back to it. I guess let's go back to it right now. There you go. So I'm signing up for a subscription. But it is difficult to buy these packs every week and not open them up. So finally, the payoff is going to come tonight. Open these packs. Hope for some Nice cards. There's a Ruby, Joseph Weston. Very good. I mean, like some of the other podcasts have said, I really appreciate everything the card team does. I like that they put all these cards together. I like the tiers and the grades and rankings and all that. But it's almost gotten to the point where if you're not pulling Hall of Fames or you're not pulling award cards or something new, fancy, it's kind of, anticlimactic. Oh, there you go. Award card, Theo Condos, Jeff Dar. I feel like I already have that card. Condos Dar. No, maybe not. Maybe I've just seen someone else pull it. It's one award card. Zoot, Miguel, having a great season. One of the top players in the league right now. Okay. Diamond, Colin Lambert. Good job. Nice. I expect Landon Fisherman to be a very high, if not a very high Ruby, then a Diamond by the time his career is over. He's leading his draft class in TPE as a defenseman. Very good defenseman. Let's see. Allbrand. Could never keep up with Allbrand. Allbrand is the top of my draft class. He just Hagen's in there too. Just somehow Allbrand has collected all that TPE, but good job for him. He is leading the league right now in TPE. Hagen and I are behind him by a few in the season 60 draft class. Diamond Kierkegaard, great. Okay. JLC, nice. Have him in fantasy this year. He's doing great things for me. There was some concern at the beginning of the season Toronto could keep up their, scoring numbers with some of the turnover they had, but didn't seem to be an issue. Toronto is popping off this year. So another Diamond, Wang, nice. Another Fisherman. I think that's 3 diamonds now and an award. And 3 rubies. Westbrook. Cool. Second St. Arc. I think that's the second Kicks Jr. It's like a third one of those tonight. Okay. I'm curious how and why Tampa Bay got all of their players made into cards, because you see all of the lowest rated players in terms of cards are all in Tampa Bay. So it's almost like they took the entire database of Tampa Bay players and made them into cards. I don't know if people were responsible for specific teams, but it is interesting how Tampa Bay commands all those lowest cards. Ooh, Hall of Fame, nice. Luke at me. Nice. Chicago Syndicate, class of 51. I'm not familiar with the player or the user. Let's see. Luke at me. Class of 51. Okay. Velvra. 851 games played, 800 points. That's pretty good. Decent hits. I assume forward. Doesn't say. A few different teams. I guess mostly with Chicago based on the card. All-star. 35, 36, or 7. 39, 40. All rookie. So Jester Trophy, Challenge Cup in 38, and then nominee for Mexico and Rashawn. Okay. So pretty good, average Hall of Fame career, I'd say. Maybe not a GOAT, but pretty good. Look at me, 96 overall. Cool. Diamond, Michael Scarn. Cool. Awesome. Another diamond, I guess now. If you guys just excuse me for a second, my dishwasher's beeping. I'll be back in 8 seconds. I don't know what the deal is with my dishwasher. I think it overheats. So it'll go through its entire cycle, and then like sometimes with like half an hour left, sometimes with like 4 minutes left, like it did just now, it'll start beeping like it's overheating, and it won't finish its cycle. Like it'll just stop anything, which is pretty inconvenient, especially if I set the dishwasher to start like before bed, and then 20 minutes after I fall asleep it starts beeping. So that's pretty inconvenient. Okay, back to cars. Nice award. Bjerg. I can never figure out how to Agent Smith's player. Ricard Bjerg. Biscuit trophy. He has a ton of takeaways. That's one of the reasons I think he did win the biscuit trophy that year. He is a takeaway machine, gets great points, just retired this year. I don't know I think he's up in the conversation again this year, maybe not. But perennially good defenseman. See, this is what I'm saying. 2 Tampa Bay, 70. Like, I have no idea who that is. Okay, last pack. More bad Tampa Bay. Okay. 1 Hall of Fame. 1 name. 4 diamond. 2 awards. I think 2 or 3. It's pretty solid. I'll take it. Yeah. Bjerg, Condos, and Atme. Awesome. Cool. Well, there's the cards for tonight. Oh, who is the other players by oh. Kieran. Okay. I know them. Let's look at if I can pull it up here. Maybe I passed it. Oh my. I haven't searched anything. I hate this. I wish it was down to like 30 seconds or something. I will say that watching Rich and Luke's podcast when Luke kind of taught me about this advanced search function based on watching that, and it saved me a lot of time over the months. Which, speaking of months, this is episode 4. It's my 4th episode, meaning 4 weeks. So it's almost been a month I've been doing this, which is crazy. That time has absolutely flown. It does not feel like it's been, 2.5 weeks since Thanksgiving. That's for American Thanksgiving for those of you in the U.S. Yeah, it just does not feel like that. Okay. Just wanted to take a look quick at the file of Ren. Okay. Yeah. Aging defenseman, oldest person on the team. But Chicago's doing pretty well this year, and that's a pretty good segue into the next section. I want to just look at the standings real quick and give some commentary, see what's going on. I haven't really looked at the standings in a few days. So as I said, doing pretty well if we sort by point percentage. 698, good for 6th in the league. So doing well. Let's look at it by division. So now let's look at it by league. So yeah, Winnipeg, went on a 27-game win streak, lost one, and then won a few more. So Winnipeg is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. Seattle, again, very good this season. Toronto scores better than anybody. If they can bring their goals against that, they could go all the way. I think in here you have a lot of similarly skilled teams. I think at this point Hamilton has the trash award locked up. I don't think they have what it takes to win a few more games than Minnesota does. I think they're going to be locked in this last spot. I think they're going to get that number 1 overall pick. Hopefully, I picked them for my season predictions. Yeah, a lot of these were expected tanks. New Orleans at 500 kind of surprises me. I think it surprises quite a few people. Good defense, just can't score. Like if they scored at least a little more, they'd probably be up in this range here. But yeah, they scored 50 more goals, so more goal per game. They'd be up with Montreal, Chicago, that sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe they'll get a turnaround. New England over them. I know they just went through rebuild, doing well. Manhattan, I expected to be higher. Montreal to be higher. So, yeah, I actually did, now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it, I wanted to show you guys something I put together. Let me just stop. Don't want you guys to okay, here it is. I put this together. This is strength of schedule for this year, and this is based off of last week, this 7th of December, I believe. So I think there's 2 sims that are not included in this. So this matrix right here is just each team and their opponents for the year. And based on the standings at the time I put this together, so 2 sims ago, the teams have played about 42 games on average. And then we assigned each team based on their point percentage standings a rank. So obviously like Hamilton 20, Winnipeg 1, Toronto 2, that sort of thing, all the way through. And then I substituted the names in the previous matrix with the ranks that the opponents of each team were ranked in the standings. So Atlanta would play the 10th ranked team first, they play the 9th ranked team second, the 5th, so on and so forth. And then it's past, present, and then also into the future for the rest of the season. So if you look, these are just the stats, but if you look at this visual here, based on, so through the December 7th Sims, let me zoom in a little for you if I can. I don't know how to do this in Sheets. View, zoom. Okay, so through the December 7th Sims, which is Wednesday, so it does not include Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 3 Sims are not included in this. This is strength of schedule based on what they have played so far, what games they have left to be played, and then depending on the final standings, this may change, but overall what their strength of schedule would be based on the current standings of the teams they have played or that have played throughout, 42 games through. So, and a lot of this is, if you notice, kind of almost reverse standings. So you got Winnipeg, Seattle, and then like Hamilton, Tampa Bay at the bottom. And that does check out logically because like Hamilton never has to play Hamilton. Winnipeg never has to play Winnipeg. So they're not going to play the best team in the league. They're not going to play the worst team in the league. And like kind of the higher ranked teams in the standings are going to more often play the lower teams in the standings just because that's how it shakes out. There are exceptions though. So for example, if you look at Calgary has had the 8th hardest schedule, right? But they are, they're sitting in 8th, and they have the 8th hardest schedule. So going out through the rest of the season, they have the easiest schedule. So you could possibly see Calgary rise up a few spots if, say, okay, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Buffalo. Chicago has a fairly easy schedule. Philadelphia has the hardest schedule left. So you could see Philadelphia drop a little bit. You could see Calgary go up a little bit. You could see Buffalo has the second hardest schedule drop a little bit. So if you are closer to the bottom here for these teams, it means you have no, let me take that back. If you see a team that is doing very well in the standings and they're at the bottom of this chart, it means they've had a pretty easy schedule. Well, and they're green down here. So they might have a harder schedule, for the rest of the season. I think it's just interesting to see. So like, Winnipeg went through that 27-game win streak. A lot of those teams were not up to Winnipeg's standards. So, they have the easiest, I say easiest schedule this season. A lot of that has to do with who's in the division, who they play. But, I mean, they're capitalizing on that. So, somebody that, for example, maybe overperformed. Let's see, Manhattan. They have a tough year this year, so maybe that's why they're closer to the middle. Their division, so they have Atlanta and Philadelphia, so it's probably going to be harder for them. Same for Montreal, so they have Toronto and Buffalo. Montreal is probably going to have a little bit of a harder schedule, 8. So these third teams, so Montreal, Manhattan, New England, because they're kind of close to Montreal, not the bottom feeders. So New Orleans, Edmonton, you're probably going to see them up here more often. So now NOLA and Edmonton, they're kind of in the middle. So they're actually underperforming a little bit based on the schedule strength. So yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say. You might see New England, Baltimore, Montreal, Edmonton. So New England, Baltimore, Montreal, Edmonton. I can see them pushing up a little bit. So we'll see. And I'd like to update this regularly. I do have it where the formulas are in. I just have to say how many games each team has played and then what rank they are in the standings. Yeah. So that's that. And I only did that for the Major League, the SHL. Didn't do it for the minor league. Just a quick look. I'll tell you what, being St. Louis GM, St. Louis has fallen quite a bit. We were up here, second, third. We've lost quite a bit recently, and I don't know why. I think our tactics went through the, mulch grinder. So we got to figure out something that sticks and something that works. We do have a few games in hand, which is good. If we win like the next 2 or 3, we might be back in this group competitive. So I'm hoping to win the division. Carolina pulled ahead, and Vancouver's right there. I would really like to get that bye. I don't want to be stuck having to play Detroit in the first round. Well, past the bye that they're inevitably going to get. So yeah, still a great clip of scoring for Detroit, Nevada. We do have some St. Louis guys up there. Maybe we can, push them to some individual accolades. But yeah, that's standings. Don't want to bore you too much on that. I know you guys look at it as well. I do. Last thing I want to go over, this is probably going to be a little bit of a short show, maybe 35 minutes. But I want to talk about the IIHF and some things going on there. So as some of you may have seen, Canadis is stepping down as IIHF commissioner. They are hiring a new commissioner. Canadis did an amazing job as commissioner. Major props to them. But looking forward to see who they pick in this position. So some things that have happened recently in the IIHF, as some of you may have noticed, I'm not sure if there's an announcement that goes along with this. I think there is. It's probably in. I don't know, but it's the medals, the awards. So I'm just gonna go to somebody who has a lot of them. Ace. So Ace has 2, 4, 6 gold medals, and now they show in the awards case. So any gold medal that that a user has won is now reflected in their case. So as you can see here, Ace has 6. I have 1 with Switzerland. So go to your profile, look at it, see how many you have. I think they link as well. Yeah, so there's the roster of that winning team. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this project was done by Rashford. So kudos and props and a toast to him. This looks great. It's awesome. I love seeing some shiny things in the awards cabinet. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool looking. Oh, or you need to have some IHF gold medals, man. Yeah. So one. Yeah. So great job on that. I don't really have anything else to talk about. It's pretty thin right now in terms of SHL. Once the this week's Sims are done, going to be, if not at the playoffs, very close to the playoffs, and we can talk about those predictions next week. Next week is the 19th or so. So last stream before Christmas for those of you who celebrate. So yeah, I didn't see any questions submitted earlier, so I don't think there are any yet. 8 hours ago. So I guess none of you guys are interested in my show. That's okay. I won't hold it against you. Just submit questions for next week, and I'll consider it forgiven. So yeah. Okay. Unless I think of something in the next 5 seconds, I think that's gonna be it. Well, thanks for sticking around, hanging out with me. This is the By-Tor show, and I'll see you next.